Hey everyone, today's project is a tutorial on this baby accordion album that I made nearly a year ago. I've had several requests to do a tutorial on it, and shortly after I did the walkthrough video on this project, I moved and I thought this ended up in storage. Well, while doing some organizing last weekend, guess what I found? It was with me all along. And I hadn't written down the instructions or the measurements, so I didn't know what to tell people other than when I find it, I'll make the video. Well, I found it, so that's what we're going to do. But because I don't need another baby album right now, I'm going to use the same format and make a recipe album as a gift for someone I work with. So it just opens up with a magnet like this and spreads out. And each of these little baby folders has a pull-out with the baby stats each month. Says the date, height, weight, and memorable moments, and then on the back there's a place for a picture. But for this one we're going to have recipe cards, and everybody at work is going to put recipes in there. They don't know it yet, I haven't told them, but that's my plan. So that's what we're going to make today. Let me get this one out of the way. Get this hot sweater off because it turned warm here today. I think it's in the 70s, close to 80. Okay, so I've done a little bit of the prep work ahead just to save time. I didn't want you guys to have to watch me cut paper and put down score tape. So what I've done so far is 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11 put together, and they just have a 1/2 inch overlap using score tape. I put those together, and then it just needed a small piece here at the end. This entire piece measures 25.5 inches when it's opened flat. Now this is the front, the bottom, the back, and the top. Like this is the top. But even though it's pieced, you won't see that once it's all folded. So I've added my score tape and I've put my pieces down. These are, yes, I wrote down the measurements this time. So if I sell this one or give it away, I'll have my measurements. The front and the back pieces are 6.5 long, 4.5 wide. The top and the bottom are 5 by 4.5. And then I used the Tim Holtz ruler. Where is it? Right here. If you lay it along the edge of your paper, this dark black line is 1 inch. And you can lay the 1 inch along your chipboard and cut your paper off so that you've got enough to fold over and you don't have all that extra bulk hanging off there that you gotta mess with getting in your way. And then I have taken a double thickness of the chipboard, this same chipboard that I used, laid it across the edge, and that's how we'll miter our corners. I used the double thickness as well between these pieces so that it gives me a little gap and it makes for better folding when you set the thing up. So I'm going to cut this off so we can miter our corners. I think I left a little bit too much on that one. I didn't get right on my line. I try to stay in frame as much as I can. I put these pieces of white paper here as a guide for myself, so I know when I'm in frame, because sometimes I look back at a video if somebody asks me a question, and I'll have to look back at the video and I think, oh my gosh, I was out of frame, and at the time I don't even realize it because the thing's up on a tripod and I can't see what it's looking at once I get going. So, okay, and I like to take and kind of stand it up and roll it, and it helps a lot if you take your bone folder and go along the edge like this just to kind of break down the fibers and help them to fold. Go around all 4 sides. is that piece of the tape. And then just kind of stand it up and roll it like that. And this one the same way. These ends are kind of long, huh? And we'll do this end. Oop. Okay. Now, take this tape off. Well, not the tape, but the paper backing. And then I like to use the liquid glue in here against the edge. Just to make sure I get a good seal on the chipboard. And this is a medium weight chipboard. Sometimes I get it from Amazon, sometimes I get it from Country Craft Creations. Just depends on if I'm already ordering from Country Craft and I need some, then I get it from her. And it's real nice chipboard. It's just as good as anybody else's. So, okay. So we're going to fold this over, starting in the middle. And this is kind of thick paper here. I'm going to have to flatten the edges here with the bone folder. And run it along the side to make sure we get a good edge. Okay. And turn it around the opposite direction. And we'll do the same thing. This is really an easy album to put together. Everybody, several people thought it looked like it would be really complicated, but it's not at all. A lot of things look like they're complicated till you get into them, and it's like, wow, this wasn't so bad after all. Get our glue along here. I really like the art glitter glue. We'll start in the middle again. Kind of coax these pieces around. This is basil paper that I'm using, and it's really pretty thick. I just like the color of it. It's something I had in my stash, and I just chose it because of the neutral color. And the print that I chose for the outside of it went real well with this as a background. So, okay, now our little short ends. We need to take our thumbnail and kind of push this little corner in here so we get a nice corner. Just kind of tuck it in with your finger. Pull that off. And we'll turn this one up. And you should get a nice corner. A nice squared edge. Turn it around and do the other end. Fold these little turkeys in. It's just enough to keep your chipboard from showing on the corner, but you don't want a whole lot, because the point in miter nut is to get rid of that bulk there. remember to put this pin back in there because I don't want this little thin spout to dry up on me. Okay, so let's run our bone folder along here. Just helps it to fold and not pucker. You can tell how thick it is by the noise it makes when you're trying to help it out here. Okay. So this will come up like this. Will be your front, bottom, back, and top. Like that. Okay, so the next thing we need is our little front latch. And it's going to go up here. It has to go up under so that we can put magnets on it before we put our designer paper on. So I'm going to put a little glue on this. Oops, wrong side. Duh. Let me wipe it off. Not paying attention. Okay, we'll do that again. Okay, the art glitter glue. And this is the top. I've got glue on my fingers now. I'm going to put this right up. Snug here. Whoop. I don't know who that was. I thought I had it turned off. Let me see, make sure that isn't hanging over. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna wipe this off. Okay. And I just put 2 stickers together to make the front tab, like that. I wish I'd put this back a little bit farther. I don't know if I can get it to... No, it's on there pretty good. I can't slide it any. It'll be okay. Okay. Baby wipe over there where I don't. Okay, and we need, where's my, oh here. Need to put magnets in here, and I want to make sure that these edges don't pop up when it's closed, so I'm going to put one on each end and one on the point. Whoops. These are all positives, I hope. Yep. Okay. And I want to make sure they're down from the designer paper. Okay. So I'll just take these little sticky tabs off. These little things stick really good. And you don't want to get them too close to the edge of your chipboard, otherwise your designer paper won't stick down. It'll billow up on you. Stick to my hands. Okay, there's one in the center. And the third one. And about so. I think that ought to work good. Might be a little bit close to the edge. Let me move it just a hair. Okay. Now we can stick this down over it and position our other ones so that it'll stay shut, because they have to go on before the designer paper. Okay. This is going to go like so. Make sure we got a good seal on it. Yeah, looks like it's down pretty good. So this will go like this. That's the way it'll go together. Once we get our designer paper on, that'll be pretty, huh? Okay, so we need to decide where these are going to go, the other three. One, two, and three. And the die I use to cut the that flap, the edge, the design edge on the flap, is this one here. It's called Card Flaps and Border Dies. And I ordered it from HSN quite some time ago when they were having a sale. And it's got several different, they're plastic, but they work really, really well. They're really nice. So, just thought I'd share that with you. I don't know if they'll have them for sale again or not, but okay, so we need a piece of I don't know who keeps calling. I haven't had that phone number very long. Oh, I want the narrower stuff for this. I keep getting other people's phone calls. It's constantly ringing, and I know it's not for me. One, two. Okay, so let's put that on there. That way. And one more piece. Goes like that. Let me move that up some more. There we go. I'm going to take this little sticky tab off. Okay. Now that they're positioned, we can bring this up and line it up where we want it. And press them down. are. And that's where our designer tape will cover them. Or designer tape, designer paper. And I have those cut for the inside and the outside. I did antique around all the pages with Tim Holtz antique linen. I didn't want anything real dark. This is for, can go to the top. This will go to the bottom. And I did not antique the piece on the center here in the middle because I didn't want to draw attention to it. It's just going to go up under these two where it has to piece together. And that'll be the inside. So let me glue this one down first. See, I didn't put the pin in it. And it doesn't take very long for it to start gooing up inside that little fine tip. Okay, I'm just putting glue on it. An ample amount. I want to make sure this little turkey's going to stay where I put it. Okay, and it's just going to center over this joint here. Make sure I get it straight. Okay, and then this long piece. Stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing here. Just to go up about so. And we'll have to go over these joints again. Make sure everything's down good. Okay, let me move it up. I'll move that. I don't want to get black ink on it. And then we'll glue this one down. As you can see, I like plenty of glue. Oops. I like to get it all the way over to the corners. It doesn't come out a whole lot at a time. It just gives you a real fine. But it's enough to spread around. Make sure I get some more along this edge here. Okay. And we'll put this one down. And once it closes up, you won't see this joint. Where I've matched the pieces. It's not a perfect match, it's close, but okay. Okay, there's that one. We'll work on this one. You don't want to push so hard that you tear your paper. Okay, there's the beginning of the box. And that's where our folders will go on the inside. Now we can decorate the outside. So this is the top of the front. And I picked out this rooster paper. Chicken or rooster, whatever it is. I think I might have it a little bit too long. Yeah, I need to snip off just a tiny bit. Let me do that real quick. And I haven't went around the edges with the antique linen on these yet. Oh, here's my little Tim Holtz cutter. I'll use it. Just take a tiny hair off of it. See if that helps. I just don't want it to hit that fold line. I think it still needs to. Oh. And then I drop it in the floor. Excuse me, Roxy. I got a dog laying in the middle of the floor here. And it doesn't look like it's perfectly straight. I'm going to make a pencil mark right here. Right here, so I can cut that again. And take my pencil mark off. That should be better. Yep, much better. Here's my other, oh, here's my other eraser. I might have to trim the other piece off too. We'll see when we get to it. I'll just go around this. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. I just like to get rid of the white edge of the cardstock. But it's just totally personal preference. Okay, now we can glue this one down. And I didn't put the pin back in again. Get it all the way in the corners. Let me get this. I think my camera may have shut off on me. I'm not sure. If it did, we had done the inside and we were in the process of doing the outside. Just be mindful if you have a directional pattern the front goes this way, the back goes the opposite. If you make them go the same way, this one's going to be upside down when you close the box. See what I mean? So there's the box. And once we get the folders in it, that helps give it the stability to stand up straight. Okay. So, gosh, I don't know if I'm recording or not, and I'm really concerned about it. There's my hand. I hope it's recording. I can't tell if there's a red light on it, what it's doing. Well, we're going to go with it and hope it's recording. Anyway, next we need our folders. Now I have made my 12 ahead, and I'm going to show you how they're made. I didn't want to make you sit and watch me make 12 folders, and I'm just going to use plain cardstock, because once they're in the album, all you see is this anyway, and they're going to be inside. Okay, so where is my Stampin' Up! Trimmer? That's what I want to show you with. There it is. That's the easiest one to show you. Okay, so you have your 12 pieces that are, let me get my measurements again, make sure I'm right. 12 pieces that are 8.5 by 6.5. So your folders, this is the top. So you want to score, you don't want that piece of trash, you want to score it a 1/2 inch, turn it one time, score it a 1/2 inch, turn it again, and score it at 4.5. And that's it. Okay, put the recipe cards aside. So we're going to, this is the front, this is the back. So we're going to cut away the bottom on the back. And then we're going to miter the edge. We're going to miter this corner. And then we're going to fold on all our score lines. And burnish. Did that pull crooked, I think? I hope not. We're going to score on this one. We already did score. Now I like to take just a little sliver off of here so that you don't have any bulk when you fold that bottom up. And fold this up. Burnish it. Looks like I got a little bit of overhang right here, so I'm going to trim this side just a little bit, because I like to fold it on the inside anyway, so you don't have any raw edges showing. Let's see. Yep, that'll be perfect. So before you do that, you'll want to punch your little thumb notch. And I just used the Stampin' Up! I think this is the 1 inch, no, it's a 2-inch punch. And I just marked the underneath side. This is center. And then when I do a thumb notch, I want it to come into these two little marks. This is the front. So I'm just going to put it into those two little marks. Oops, I want to get it in the center. put glue on both of these. And that is your little folder. You can see recipe cards. I downloaded these from the internet, and I used a Bo Bunny stamp, and these fit perfectly in there. When I first cut them out, they come with a, here it is. They come with this little, well, you can see it on here, this little line border, and I cut right on the border, and they got lost down in there. They were way too small. See, and they go way down in. So I redid them with the edge on them, and then I went around them with the antique linen, and I punched the tabs with Bo Bunny stamp set, or dies. Let me see what it's called. And I got these from Country Craft Creations. There's 5 in it. It just says Bo Bunny Craft Dies, Tab Dies, Keeping Tabs it's called. And there's 5 different ones. And I used this one. I thought because of the length of it, maybe she could write the name of the recipe on the outside of the card so she could see it from the folder. So that's what these are. And then I ran them through one of the little Xyron sticker makers. Saves a lot of glue. I've had those for a long time. And I scored each one of them in, put the antique linen around the edges before I ran them through the sticker maker. And I've got 3 of them left. And I just put it in the center of this one and fold it over. And these little recipe cards were so easy. They were free on the internet. I googled it, and I found a site that had 27 different sets of recipe cards, and there was all different colors and prints and stuff. And I'll put a link to that in the description box for you. And you print them on the front and the back. And she's got all that figured out for you. All you got to do is print the front side, flip your paper over, put it back in your printer, depending on how your printer pulls the paper through. Mine prints from the bottom, so I had to flip it over and switch page 1 for page 2. Stick it back in there. But you see it printed the front and the back. Okay. So next is putting them in the album. And you almost need 2 sets of hands to do that, I'll tell you what. Okay. It is hot in here. Okay. Get my paper clips out. Paper clips, my clothespins. Okay, we're basically going to have to eyeball this. There's no real science to it. So we got to open it up. Make sure I don't have any glue or anything sticky on there. I don't have.
Hey, Nana.
Hey, is it still recording? Yes or no?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it quit. It made a noise.
No, it says REC 10, 24, 5, 6.
Why are you counting?
That's it recording.
I thought it quit.
No. See, come here. Look.
Okay, well then,
Stand
we're
up
talking
on,
in the middle of the video.
Well, I know, but stand up on your tippy toes. See REC 10, and see the countdown? See it counting up? That's it taking video right now.
Oh, okay. I thought it quit on me. That's why I sent Lucas to get you. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Spend all that money on a new camera and then have it do the same thing the first one did.
Well, as long as it's just beeping, it should be okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start attaching our folders. 6 to the front, 6 to the back, and then we're going to meet up in the middle. Okay. So we are going to put a piece of this. Is this 1 inch? Yep. I'm going to put 2 strips of it down the center, as straight as I can get it, like so. And I'm not a great fan of this red tape because it's got so much static in it, but I already had it on hand, several rolls of it. I bought it a long time ago. I don't know who had it on sale, but anyway, I went for the sale, and it works fine. I just hate the backing when you pull it off. Golly, it's got so much static in it, it clings to you, and you'll find it everywhere in your house, floating all over the floor. Okay. Now, this has to be centered from top to bottom and side to side before you stick it down, because once you put it down, it's down. Okay. I hope it's straight. That needs a little bit more glue right there. I see that now. Let me put a little bit more glue on. Is it coming out? Here it is. Okay. I hope that's straight. I should have turned it towards me, but it looks like it might be just a hair crooked. I am not sure. I hope it's not. Okay, so now we need 2 strips on this one. Stick down there. And it just needs to go in the center. Okay. Yeah, it is a little bit crooked. I can see that now. Darn it. I hate that. It's off right here. I'm going to try to straighten it up. Just a little bit at a time, so it's not so noticeable. Okay, now number 3. This is what takes so much of your time, is doing this. I should have had the tape put on them. That would have saved time, but I didn't. But we got the majority of it made now. It's just putting the folders in, and then you can decorate the outside however you want to. Come on. I may have got that one over a little bit far. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's hard to see when you're doing the video without sticking your head right over the camera. Put the pin back in this again. Just seen it laying there. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, they're starting to spread out already. And this one will be 6, and then we'll have to put them on the back. The other 6. Okay, there's 6. Now, we want to go to the back side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we got enough. Okay. So let's go and put it on the back this time. Down the center. Tape. I might as well do several, huh? Get one more. I'll do 3 and 3. These. I'll put these 3 on. Kleenex here. It's a little hot and stuffy in here. If I turn on my air conditioner, it makes so much noise, everybody will say, "What's that roaring in the background?" The camera just magnifies everything, and it sounds like it's so loud. Okay, so now these have to match, and this is here to here. Oops, don't put it down yet. Goofy girl. should be, I hope that's right. Okay. Next, take the tape off, or the backing. Ooh, I had something wet on my counter. It'll be alright though. 2. 3. And line up these bottom corners. And way up to the top. Okay, 3 more. And I'm just eyeballing where I'm putting these. There's no real rhyme or reason, just somewhere down the center. 2 inches of adhesive with basically 1 inch on each side. Okay. Now let's burnish them. Okay, match these bottom corners and the sides. Lay that turkey down. Now when we get this one on, we have to put tape on the front side of it so we can match it up. And that is the hardest part of this whole project, is bringing the two together. Okay, 2 pieces of tape on here. You almost need a second pair of hands. But it's so small, sticking your hands in there trying to bring them together. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, let me loosen these up so that when I get a hold of them, I can jerk that tape out of there. Where are you going, Roxy? Roxy, lay down and stay here. She likes to sneak out the door. Okay, so we're going to bring these together. Let me put something behind it if that'll help hold it up. Probably going to fall over. There. So I need to bring these two. What did I do with my clothespins? There they are. They're hidden. Need to bring these two together and match them up. And these two together. And match them up. The back part of the brown there. Okay. Now that they're together where I want them to be, I know you can't see this and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get a hold of that first piece of tape. Keep getting it and it flops out of my hand. Okay, now we need to bring the bottoms together. And make them match. And that isn't easy. Get my hand in here. Once I get this other piece out of there. Okay, now I'm going to bring the bottoms together. With a clothespin. Now let me get 2 more clothespins. Okay. Then we turn it to the other side and do the same thing. Bring the corners together. And this edge together. I think the tops are together. Oops, these came undone when I turned it over. You have to be able to get these in there and then put your bone folder down in there between the brown and the yellow one. And stick them together. See if it's going to stay. Yep. Okay. Okay. There's your accordion box. A little puckered right there. And then we'll open it.